Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in the series between Lucifer and Happy. Lucifer spawning as the yellow what god, this little extra bar annoys me. I'm just gonna go ahead and reset it. And well, Lucifer, as we're gonna know, is spawning on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, Happy has spawned as the blue undead. Undead versus Undead once more, and Lucifer getting a bit unlucky in game number 1. We'll see what will happen here in game number 2, and oh, how interesting and how lovely. WarCraft, or XSplit's now telling me what the CPU load of running WarCraft 3 is, and it's incredibly low. Oh, fond days when WarCraft 3 used to tax my computer back in 2002, 2003? Seems like such a long time ago. Anyways, we'll see what's unfolding here as Happy is going to be opening up with the Altar of Darkness, Crypt, and a Graveyard, obviously indicating that he is going to be going for Crypt Fiends. Meanwhile, Lucifer doing pretty much the same exact thing, and Lucifer was did aggressively creep more in game number 1, and that ended up haunting him as one critical Frost Nova took down 2 Crypt Fiends after he had tried so hard to micromanage all of those units. By actually losing all of those 2 Crypt Fiends, he ended up falling very much behind and also gave a lot of experience to his opponent in catching up in that overall experience race. Being down about 10 supply, or maybe even a 12 supply swing when you think about losing 2 units and your opponent gaining that experience back, really set him up behind the 8 ball, and he was unable to recover. We'll see if Lucifer plays a much more traditional game or perhaps a much more conservative game, hoping that it will go longer and win out in the end, because I do believe we saw very strong, solid play from Lucifer in game number 1 as well. No, I am not discrediting Happy in any way, but I do want to see a game number 3 as we are looking at Crypt Fiends being trained up now. The hero is going to be a Death Knight from Happy. Meanwhile, we are once again going for a Lich here from Lucifer. We saw how effective Lucifer was with that Lich, and if he can get that Lich into that higher level range, level 3 and level 4 and level 5, it should make a tremendous impact, as Dark Ritual will then double the amount of mana for taking out one of your own skeletal minions. And the more mana you have, well, the more it's going to be raining down those Frost Novas. Ogre Warrior taking a little bit of damage here. We are going to be seeing that Lich pop out here in just a moment. There you go, coming out at the 2-minute 40-second mark, as the Ogre Warrior and Crypt Fiends now looking to engage back here. No ensnare, skeletal minions now chasing down Crypt Fiends coming across, as both sides getting a little bit of a late start in this engagement, but really that's what you expect when you do see an undead player creep. Alright, Skeletal Minion escaping away with 6 hit points. Gonna do a bit of scouting, finishing off this Forest Troll Trapper. Where are they gonna be creeping next? Could be this green creep camp here, trying to get to level 2. Meanwhile, the Death Knight, still sitting at level 1, has a Ring of Protection and wants to get to level 2 as well. Both sides, I guess, looks as though they're going after the... Well, Crypt Fiend, no experience given to Happy. Happy gaining that little bit of experience right there. But also we know that Lucifer knows exactly where his opponent is. Excuse me. Alright, excuse me again. I do have a cough button, but I have it currently not set up. My apologies, but it added some distortion and static to any of the videos. Anyways, continuing off over here, Forest Troll Trapper going to get taken down. Lich is sitting at level 2. We do have Scroll of the Beast on that Lich. It most likely will be sold, as by the time it does become useful at all, it ends up being a little bit more of a hindrance, as those destroyers will be able to come in and devour magic, all of that damage bonus. Yes, sold right there. Rod of Necromancy coming back in. There's a Dark Ritual to get a little bit more mana once again, as more skeletal minions being brought over. Death Knight coming across here, sitting at level 2. A little bit of a free volley of damage comes across straight on that Death Knight. Death Knight being forced to pull back here, as the Crypt Fiends are not going to be able to catch up because of that Unholy Aura on that Death Knight. positioning and mobility will definitely be in favor of Happy until Lucifer gets to level tier 2 and gets to level 2 on his Death Knight. We know that both players will be ending up with the same types of heroes, just in a different order than normal. All right, Lich comes to engage, spots. Oh, Crypt Fiend off to the north. It is ensnared. Is it going to get focused down? That is going to be the big deal right there. Death Knight nowhere nearby. Death Coil not there. Happy getting a free kill on a Crypt Fiend, as we're going to see more attacks coming across. So far, Happy needs to get away with that Crypt Fiend, and the Crypt Fiend will end up getting healed. But one Crypt Fiend down, 4 on 3, as the skeletal minions will get taken down as well. Lich really wants to get to level 2. Death Knight coming in across with the Death Coil again. Skeletal minion, as we see more engaging still. Lich out of mana, unable to do anything short of using the Rod of Necromancy. No skeletal minions or no corpses there to try and convert a corpse and get that last bit of mana. All right, little bit of push and pull damage. Lich gonna turn back around. Is he going to engage? That is the big question. There it is. Happy skeletal minion going to take it down. It is going to be now 5 on 4 as reinforcements are coming across to join in on the rest of that fight. Now, no, all right. Death Knight now looking to back off here. Creeping. He wants to engage on these creeps. He knows how important that level 3 is, that extra bit of mana, but he is unable to get very far. Taking down a pig in order to get skeletal minions out, and then most likely going to be dark ritualing one of them. Actually, no dark ritual. I would have expected him to try and get a little bit more mana out of those skeletal minions. There you go. There's that dark ritual up to 208, as we may see an engagement here. All right. A little bit of a frostbolt coming across there. Lich could try and engage. And at this point, I gotta say, Happy is doing a better job in game number 2 at controlling Lucifer's experience. All right, there you come across. There's the Death Knight. Who's going to be able to get that last bit of experience more? That is the big question. Death Coil, Frost Nova, level 3 on the Lich. Level 3 on the Lich could be a very big deal. Skeletal Mane is now joining in on the fight. You can see the attacks coming across, and the Crypt Fiend unable to get healed. The Frost Nova from the Lich of Happy shows up on time, but another Crypt Fiend does get taken down. Death Coil comes across. Dark Ritual right there gets a little bit more mana. And are we going to see more attacks come across on multiple sides? Death Coil saves it, but no Burrow. Frost Nova on the Death Knight. Death Knight, is he going to fall? No. Crypt Fiend is going to fall, but trading a Scroll of Town Portal for a Crypt Fiend, even enough trade, especially as it gave the Death Knight level 3. Dark Rituals still coming inbound, as the Death Knight will stay at level 1 and the Lich will stay at level 3. Death Knight pretty much on the money in terms of experience, now getting up that slaughterhouse with that obsidian statue to heal back up. Lich wants to continue to creep up a bit more. Death Knight should really join, and it will right here. 98 experience, not going to be enough to get that Death Knight to level 2. Going to be just shy unless the Lich does choose to back off. Ring of Protection +2 added, as well as the Forest Troll Trapper will get taken down right there. Nope, no level 2. See, just shy. Anyways, back across off to the north. Illusion gonna make its way inside here, do a quick scout, and notices that there is already a Black Citadel. He knows that the Dark Ranger most likely is already rejoining up with the rest of the army, as we do see a Forest Troll High Priest joining in as well. All right, Lich looking to actually back off here. I'm assuming that he really wants to get level 2 onto, or already has level 2 onto that Death Knight, may want to get level 3, as level 3 is important for that level 2 Death Coil to heal up those units that much more. Dark Ranger sitting at 1. Lich is sitting at 2. Death Knight is sitting at 3 for Happy. Illusioned Death Knight still wandering across here, as the Death Knight, Death Knight going to get about halfway to level 3, and the Lich is going to be staying about halfway to level 4. Happy doing a strong play to try and creep out some of the more difficult creep camps. Unlike in game number 1, Helm of Valor will be added. Lich is going to get, nope, is it the Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger has the Helm of Valor. +4 strength, +4 agility, slightly more damage as well, as we're looking at the Lich removing the armor. And do we have that Orb of Corruption on the Lich? We do on both sides. Lucifer still playing a little bit of catch-up so far. He is not nearly as as advanced in clearing out these creep camps. The number of creep camps cleared out are about the same, but the difficulty of the creep camps definitely favors Happy. You can see him has cleared out a red creep camp here and already cleared out this Goblin Laboratory. Meanwhile, Lucifer has cleared out the expansion location and this mercenary camp. Although the overall experience may be extremely similar, that Helm of Valor is going to be the big difference here, unless Lucifer can clear out this creep camp without getting creepjacked. Both sides getting up very, very high level as the Ogre Lord does get taken down. Lich now sitting at level 4, level 2 Dark Ritual should be coming into play. Dark Ranger is not using black arrows right now. Perhaps has silence instead. Not too uncommon, as you really want to be able to silence in order to shut down your opponent's Death Knight. Lich sitting at plus 11 attack. Dark Ranger just shy of level 2. Continuing to clear out some of these easy creep camps. Dark Ranger will, I believe, get to level 2 off of this particular creep camp. Or going to be extremely, extremely close. No, will get to level 2 right there. There you go. As the Dark Ranger now most likely has Black Arrow and Silence. The Black Arrows will be helpful for those dark minions. Dark or lesser minions in order to devour magic. Or Dark Ritual, excuse me. All right, Happy gonna end up losing one of those Crypt Fiends there. Black Minion or Lesser Dark Minion now in play. Happy almost loses another Crypt Fiend there as both sides in trouble. Frost Nova, Death Coil going around. There's the heals. There's a Cyclone coming across as Happy is gonna end up, saves one of his Crypt Fiends again. Both sides have been really, really focusing down these Crypt Fiends in these battles. Happy losing one, getting another Death Coil off. Level 3, both sides are still fighting. Silence on the Death Knight here. Unholy Aura item not that great, as we're going to see another Death Coil come in from Happy. Happy still has plenty of mana. Not quite sure how this is possible, as the Lich is in a little bit of trouble. There is a Frost Nova, Lesser Potion of Invulnerability on the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger needs to get healed. Is he going to be able to get a heal off? Death Knight needs to come back across. There's the heal, but the Lich gets saved at the last possible moment with the Scroll of Town Portal. Dark Ranger dodges the cooldown from the Lich. Lich did not have mana, as the Death Knight now going to engage once more. All right. Dark Ranger now sitting at level 3. Both sides pretty much sacking their whole entire army, but Happy sitting at 48 over 60, retraining up a Crypt Fiend and an Obsidian Statue. Meanwhile, back across here, Obsidian Statues, Crypt Fiends are being trained up as well. Lucifer in a little bit of a situation, smaller in terms of army size and behind in terms of experience. Dark Ranger only sitting at 2, as the Lich is continuing to use those Dark Rituals to stay topped off on mana. Death Knight sitting at level 3. He has sold his Unholy Aura. No big surprise there. Gargantuan Sea Turtle is left. Robe of Magi on the Lich, giving an additional +6 attack. Lich having +6 intelligence and +5 additional attack from that Orb of Corruption, as the Lich is comfortably sitting on a maximum 510 mana. Death Knight and Dark Ranger, neither of them will level off of this particular creep camp, but an amazing +7 armor on this Death Knight. That Death Knight is going to be extremely difficult to take out, as they now perhaps move up onto the high ground here. Nope, going to go instead after this creep camp here. Now, Lucifer knows this creep camp has already been cleared out. If he was paying attention, he knows that his opponent has a Helm of Valor, meaning that very, very high level item drop can only drop from that red creep camp. Noticing those smaller things, it will definitely help you out when you are playing Warcraft 3 by yourself. Death Knight can, 878. Dark Ranger just shy as well, as the Death Knight Lich need to make a move out. All right, level 4, level 4, level 3, going up against a level 4, level 3, level 2. That is very, very close to leveling, and this is one of those situations where a little bit of experience would go a long way. If there was some way to transfer, I would say 100 experience off of this Lich and give it to the Death Knight and the Dark Ranger, Lucifer would do that in a heartbeat, just because he knows how important those levels possibly are. All right, plus 10 armor on the Death Knight. That Death Knight not going anywhere anytime soon. Lich has a Scroll of Town Portal, and now diving back home. Destroyer is going to try and finish off some of those Acolytes as we see a quick get out there. All right, Crypt Fiend unable to get taken down. 4 Acolytes as one was focused down as well, and we only have about 6 to 7 minutes of mining left in these main gold mines. Are we going to be haunting additional gold mines? That is the next question, as Lucifer just needs 11 experience on his Dark Ranger and only needs 22 experience on his Death Knight to get a lot stronger. All right, Rings of Protection have been sold. Or were they given to the Lich? Nope, Rings of Protection have been sold. No more crazy 11 armor Death Knight wandering around, and we'll see if that comes back. The Death Knight has 2 open item slots, and this is one of those questions that I have. Are the item spot, is the gold really worth that much more than the +2 additional armor? Death Knight having no easy way to heal himself often wants to be able to mitigate some of that early damage. Dark Ranger still ready to go, Lich ready to go, both sides with nowhere to possibly creep, as we do see shades wandering all across the map. Happy is sitting at a comfortable 65/70 compared to 49/50 by Lucifer. More ziggurats are being added in order to get into that higher tier. Tier upgrades are 2-0 compared to 2-0. Happy definitely winning this battle so far, as a Death Knight now needs to escape. Is he going to be able to escape? That is the big question. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability could be used. Death Knight is slightly faster of Happy with that additional plus 10% speed on the level 2 Unholy Aura, as we see the engagement and players getting ready to go. All right. 1 Ring of Protection plus 2. I'm sure 2 more would be very helpful, considering he has just sold them. 544 gold in the bank. And perhaps those Rings of Protection should have been held on until you were ready to start training up more units and going into higher upkeep. All right, Anti-Magic Shell now being used here. Death Knight now nearby. Crypt Fiend's going to be ready to go. Lich unable to do very much. And there are, in fact, Banshees with that Anti-Magic Shell. A little bit of damage done. Frost Nova not going to matter very much because of that Anti-Magic Shell, as the Destroyers are off to the side. A little bit of damage coming across. Banshees are all in position, as the Crypt is now taking far too much damage to be comfortable. We do need to see an engagement here. The Banshees really changing things up, as we do see a Silence. Crypt Fiend able to burrow. Nope, not able to burrow. There may have been a shade in the mix somewhere, as we do see the Death Knight and the Lich still not leveled up. Or excuse me, the Dark Ranger still not leveled up. All right. If an early Crypt Fiend or an early unit can get focused down, that will change the pacing of all of this, as we do see a little bit of focus fire down onto one of those Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends, could it get taken down? Yes, it does. Level 4, level 3 on the Dark Ranger and the Death Knight, both still fighting back and forth. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here, as the Death Knight is now getting picked up. A quick Devour Magic, removing that Cyclone. All right, continuing to heal back and forth. Lich is going back and forth as well. And I realize I don't have my music going. I'm sorry. Game sounds would have been very helpful. I'll have to figure out what happened later. Anyways, it looks as though Happy is able to take game number 2 and the series 2-0. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.